It is a new, beautiful day. Wearing a cheap suit, you walk into a bank, believing you have found the safest job to achieve financial freedom. A clean desk, a steady salary. You are in a quiet central bank where Jeff Bezos keeps his money, where the vault has unbreakable glass walls, cameras, passwords, and doors reinforced with the same steel Elon Musk uses in his rockets. From the outside, you look like an ordinary employee, but inside, every level brings you closer to the room holding 400 tons of gold. A room not even presidents can enter without permission. In the beginning, you don't control the money. You count it. You feel its presence. Then, you witness how an approval gives a family a home and how a rejection shuts down a business. Because a bank isn't just a place where money is stored. It is the king on the chessboard. It knows who gets access to capital, who will pay higher interest for it, who will grow through debt, and who will pay a fortune in interest to the bank for years because they couldn't repay what they borrowed. Most people only see the teller, the card, the mobile app, and the polite employee behind the desk. But if you rise high enough, you get closer to the owner of that signature in the bank, the one who accepts or rejects people's requests. You might even enter the room with the 400 tons of gold behind them. You start as an employee, but level by level you learn the secret language of money, trust, investments, stocks, real estate transactions, and you can now clearly read the true message behind them. To see this clearly, watch the video to the very end without skipping. Level 1. The bank intern. You aren't anyone important yet. You arrive before the branch opens, while the city is still quiet and the floor lights reflect off the polished tiles. Your manager gives you a small desk near the back, a temporary login, and a desktop computer with training screens full of rules, warnings, and product names. At this level, banking looks clean and controlled. Customers walk in, employees smile, printers run, cash registers open, screens glow. The numbers move with a calmness that hides the pressure behind them. Your job is simple. Watch, learn, be careful, and don't make mistakes. You observe the senior employees checking documents, explaining fees, opening accounts, rejecting requests, and keeping their faces completely neutral, even if the person sitting across from them is embarrassed, angry, or scared. For the first time, you realize that money doesn't come into the bank as numbers. It comes as human emotion. A paycheck is relief, a declined card is panic, a loan application is hope, a debt reminder is fear. The bank does not react emotionally to money, people do. So do you think banks care about us? Or are they only focused on what they can take from us? Let me know in the comments. Level 2. The bank teller. Now you are sitting behind the counter. The glass wall is closer. The customers are closer, and the cash is directly in front of your hands. Every morning, you unlock your drawer, count the cash twice, sign for your till, and prepare for the people who will pass the money they sacrificed their lives for through a small slot in the desk. The $100 that represents someone working day and night. The $200 that means someone is away from their family just to pay rent. At first, the job feels mechanical. Deposit, withdrawal, transfer, stamp, receipt, next customer. You count the bills until your fingers move faster than your thoughts, and the money counter becomes the silent engine behind every conversation. But after a few weeks, this cycle changes. You stop seeing transactions as tasks and start seeing them as clues. An old man withdraws the same amount every Tuesday. A young woman deposits her first paycheck and takes a picture of the receipt. A tired father asks if there is enough money in his account for rent, then smiles fleetingly when the answer is yes. A shop owner brings in a heavy envelope full of cash, but his hands shake as he waits for the money to be counted. You are still low in the hierarchy. Your chair is fixed. Your authority is limited. Your salary is ordinary. Your mistakes are closely monitored. Cash looks powerful from the outside. Whether it truly is up for debate. In seconds, it can be counted, approved, rejected, and turned into a number on a screen. At the end of the day, you balance your till and search for even the smallest missing amount. Because in banking, a tiny discrepancy isn't just a mistake, it is a warning. The bank trusts you with the money, but it doesn't trust you with the decisions. Level 3. The customer service representative. Your desk moves away from the counter. People now sit across from you not to hand you cash, but to explain their problems. There is a small plant on the desk, and next to your elbow, a computer screen full of invisible labels that dictate how the bank sees each individual. At this level, you no longer just process money. You translate the system to the customer. A woman wants to know why her card was blocked. A student requests a higher limit. A couple wants to open a joint account before getting married. A shop owner asks for more time before a payment is collected. You learn to speak in controlled sentences. I understand. Let me check that for you. As of right now, we cannot approve this. These words sound soft, but inside the bank, they are walls. The customer hears your voice, but the decision usually comes from a screen they cannot see, a policy they have never read, and a risk model they don't understand. Two customers can ask for the exact same thing and get different answers. A fee is refunded for one. It isn't for the other. One receives a loan offer before even asking. The other is told to wait 6 months. The difference isn't always effort, personality, or fairness. Sometimes it's income, sometimes it's history, sometimes it's data, and sometimes it's the silent math of trust. You are still not powerful, but now, you are the face of decisions that were made before the customer even sat down. And you learn the first true language of banking. It isn't cash, it's access, and access changes the feeling of every room. You begin to realize that the bank doesn't need to shout to control behavior. It only needs a limit, a score, a fee, a delay, or a polite sentence that says no. Level 4, the loan officer. Now the bank gives you something more dangerous than a cash register. It gives you the power to offer debt. Your desk looks better, your nameplate is cleaner, and customers no longer come with simple questions about cards or fees. They come with plans. A young couple wants a mortgage for their first apartment. A mechanic wants financing for a second garage. A restaurant owner wants a commercial loan before summer begins. Every conversation starts with hope, but every file ends with numbers. Income, collateral, credit score, debt ratio, repayment history, risk category. The customer tells you a story. The bank demands proof. You listen to them as your eyes bounce between pay stubs, tax records, property values, and a decision screen that could change a person's future. This is the first time banking feels like power, not because you approve everything, but because you can deny. Some people have strong dreams and weak numbers. Some people have flawless paperwork but no real plan. Some people need the money so badly they treat the loan as salvation, whereas the bank approaches it as a risk. A loan can open a door. A loan can also turn into a cage. When you offer credit, you aren't just giving money. You create a future payment, a future pressure, and a future obligation that could follow someone far longer than their initial dream lasts. At this level, you understand a truth most customers never say out loud. The bank doesn't hand out money. It makes a concession to take back even more from you. Level 5, the branch manager. You now have an office with a door. It isn't big, but it changes the way people look at you. Employees knock before entering. Customers demand to see you when they are angry. Regional managers call when the numbers are low. Every morning, before the branch opens, you review a dashboard that translates human activity into targets. Deposits, loans, investment accounts, outstanding credits, complaints. The branch no longer feels like a quiet financial building. It feels like a small economic battlefield. Your tellers are tired. Your service team is under pressure. Your loan officers want approvals. Your targets keep rising. And every person who walks through the door becomes both a customer and a line item in a performance report. This is the level where the clean image of banking starts to crack. The bank wants trust, but it also wants growth. It wants to be cautious, but it also wants to issue more loans. It wants happy customers, but it also collects fees. It wants employees to care, but it measures them by targets. Your decisions seem small, but they shape the branch. Your power is local, but the pressure is constant. If the branch performs well, upper management praises the strategy. If it performs poorly, they question your discipline. Slowly, banking stops feeling like a service. It starts to feel like controlled persuasion. Level 6, the private banker then. You enter a quieter room. The coffee is better, the chairs are softer, and the customers do not wait in line. They arrive by appointment, wearing watches that cost more than your annual salary, and they speak about money with a calmness that feels unreal. At this level, you no longer deal with people trying to make it through the month. You deal with people trying to protect, grow, move, divide, and pass on their wealth. A factory owner wants to diversify. A young heir wants access to money they didn't build. You no longer deal with people trying to get by. You deal with people trying to protect and elevate their wealth and legacy. The numbers shift the atmosphere. A normal customer worries about a card limit. A private client worries about currency risk, market timing, asset allocation, and inheritance structures. You learn that wealth has its own unique anxiety. Low-income people fear not having enough. Rich people fear losing their position, their privacy, their control, and their advantage. Your job is no longer just explaining products. Your job is to make wealthy clients feel protected and important. The bank offers them private rooms, faster responses, better rates, and options ordinary customers will never even hear about. Money doesn't just buy things. Money buys better financial treatment. And as you watch a client move millions with a single, calm instruction, you remember the customer who begged for a small overdraft and was rejected by an automated score. The bank calls this segmentation. You begin to see the hierarchy. Level 7. The investment banker banking now stops looking like a branch and starts looking like a treasure map. The lights stay on until late. The screens never rest. The language used becomes faster, colder, and more aggressive. You are no longer helping individuals manage their accounts. You are helping corporations raise capital, acquire competitors, sell divisions, restructure debt, enter markets, escape pressure, or become valuable enough for investors to buy into the story. At this level, money is no longer counted. It is structured. You work on pitch books, valuation models, transaction timelines, debt packages, investor presentations, and confidential files. The amount of money you manage scales up. $10 million, $50 million, $200 million, and up to $1 billion. After a while, the numbers stop feeling like money. They drift between spreadsheets, boardrooms, signatures, and headlines, but behind every transaction, something profoundly human is still waiting. A merger might create market power, but it can also erase departments. Refinancing might save a company, but it tightens control. An acquisition might make the founders rich, but end the culture they built. You earn more than you ever have before. You sleep less than you ever expected, and one night, looking at a glowing financial model while the city is dark outside, you realize the bank has changed your relationship with money. At level 1, money was something you counted. At level 4, money was something you lent. At level 6, money was something you protected for the rich. Now, money is something you use to reshape reality. This is precisely where the job becomes both exhilarating and dangerous. Level 8. The risk manager. You no longer look for opportunity first. You look for what could break. You analyze loan portfolios, monitor aggressively borrowing companies, study fast-moving markets, and question the deals everyone else wants to celebrate. This is where banking becomes uncomfortable, because your job isn't to make the system look strong. Your job is to ask where it is weak. A profitable client might be too risky. A growing company might be built on fragile debt. Sales teams think you're slowing them down. Executives think you're too pessimistic. Customers never see your face, yet your report can lower their limits, delay their loans, or stop a deal before it even starts. Then, a crisis hits. The phones ring more violently. Meetings get shorter. Every assumption is questioned. The same people who ignored the warnings now ask for your numbers first. You realize that risk was never really about fear. Risk was about survival. Level 9, the executive banker. You are now sitting near the top. The office is bigger. The desk is longer, and the conversations are no longer about customers. They are about sectors, balance sheets, liquidity, reputation, and the future of the institution itself. Your decisions travel further than your voice. A public mistake can destroy trust incredibly fast. You earn more than most people around you will ever see, but the money no longer feels like freedom. It feels like compensation for the pressure. Every decision has two versions: the version shown in the presentation and the version you carry home in silence. You approve growth, knowing that growth creates risk. You protect the bank, knowing that protection might hurt the customers. You serve the shareholders, knowing that when trust breaks, people pay the price. This is the breaking point. You, Wanted to climb because you thought the altitude was comfortable. But the altitude only makes you feel like you are more accountable. Level 10. The system, level bankerat. The final level. Banking is no longer a job, it is an infrastructure. You are no longer thinking about a single branch, a single customer, a single loan, or a single transaction. You are thinking about where the money is moving, where credit is expanding, where trust is weakening, and where the next invisible pressure will emerge before the public even feels it. The outside world still thinks banking is about accounts, cards, salaries, and loans, but you now see the deeper system. Credit creates growth, debt creates addiction, trust keeps the money moving, fear can freeze everything. Money isn't powerful simply because it exists. Money is powerful because people believe it will still work tomorrow, and banks live at the very center of that belief. Therefore, the real question is no longer how much money you can make inside the system. The real question is who you become when the system gives you the power to influence other people's access to money. At every level, banking gives you more salary, more status, more information, more authority, more distance from the people affected by your decisions. But it also takes things away. Simplicity, innocence. It takes your sleep and the time you set aside for yourself. You started by counting cash at a desk. You finished by understanding that banking isn't just about money. It's about trust, debt, pressure, control, and the power to decide who gets the chance to move forward. And once you see this, you can never look at a bank in that same simple way again. Is the question on your mind what happened to the room with 400 tons of gold? Actually, there are even more valuable rooms, perhaps not materially but spiritually, though I don't think there is a way to reach them. This is just one path inside the monetary system. To see the true face of the system, join us without wasting any time. Take care of yourselves, have a good day.